All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the 6th annual Writing Awards here at Florida Gulf Coast University. I just want to welcome you all here. I'm Derek Lara. I am a faculty member in the UA Whitaker College of Engineering. Now you guys are all wondering, why is an engineer here presenting at the Writing Awards? And that's a great question. And like all great questions, does not have a satisfying answer. But I am here, and I am going to be your host for today. We had a really great this year for the Writing Awards. We had 177 unique submissions, and we're going to be presenting awards across 13 categories. So we're going to get pretty quickly into it, but I just wanted to say how impressed I was with the quality of the submissions this year. And there was a lot of difficulty in deciding which one of the submissions were selected for the winners. So everyone who submitted, you should be proud of your accomplishments and your aspiring greatness here at FGCU. A quick overview of what we're going to be doing. We're going to start with a run through of the awards presentations. We're going to do those all basically one straight through. For those of you who are here in person, we have our award certificates here on the podium. You can come up and grab that. And then our lovely assistant over here, Jackie Chastain, who, by the way, was responsible for reserving the room and the catering and all of the snacks. So let's all give it a, yeah, good work, Jackie. Right. And I'm not going to go through and mention all of our judges because it's rather a long list, but if anyone here in the room was a judge for the Writing Awards, could you please stand up briefly? No, you guys were over there. Let's give it a round of applause for our judges. All right, is everybody ready to get started? All right, we're going to start in the business category. Unfortunately, we didn't have a whole lot of submissions for the business category, so we do not have a runner-up. But we're going to start with our winner in the business category. Goes to Dominick Trippie for his work, 5 art pieces that will make your Cheyla Bay walls top. Is Dominick here? There we go. Dominick is a senior at Florida Gulf Coast University, and he's graduating with a major in communications. He's got a concentration in public relations, and he's also from Buffalo, New York, and he's a diehard Buffalo Bills fan. He hopes to continue his career in advertising after graduating. Thank you, Dominick. Next up, we have creative nonfiction, and the runner-up for creative nonfiction goes to Alex Bustamente for her work, Living on an Iceberg. Alexa also goes by Jules, and she's a writer with a passion for social justice and the environment. She uses her own experience as a Latina to write and speak up for change. When not writing, she likes to play the ukulele at the beach, which I like to listen to the ukulele at the beach because I can't play. And the winner for the Creative Nonfiction Award goes to Tymber Wolf for her work, The Manatee in Me. Tymber is an integrated studies major. She likes to think about her connection to all things. She hopes to keep writing in the future. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we're also going to have some readings after the presentation of the awards. So if you guys can, please stick around after that. All right. Next up, we have the education category. The runner-up in education goes to Hannah Clonch for her work titled My Story. Hannah is a forensic studies major. She enjoys reading, writing, and spending time with her pup. Hannah hopes to one day start a nonprofit program to teach young adults about building healthy relationships, identifying red flags, learning about domestic abuse, and Hannah would love to be an advocate for victims of domestic violence, and sexual abuse. Thank you, Hannah. All right, and the winner for the education category goes to Madison Franz for her work, Managing Mental Health, COVID-19 as an Opportunity in the Classroom. Madison is a freshman in the Honors College, majoring in elementary education, hopes to incorporate her writing into her future classroom as a means to engage and relate to her students. When she's not writing, she enjoys spending time with her mom and her grandparents, talking with her dog, Ruby, taking her dog, Ruby, to Love Boat ice cream for a pup cup, which I'm assuming is some form of dog ice cream cone, yeah? Okay. And she likes to edit her works while drinking an unhealthy amount of Sonic unsweet iced tea. With their fries too, right? The next category, engineering, and unfortunately engineering is my own discipline. We did not have enough submissions that we awarded both the winner and a runner-up. But the winner in the engineering category goes to Samantha Stilwell-Carroll for her work, Identifying Identity Fraud for Visa Cybersecurity Data Engineers. Is she online? Is Samantha online? I didn't have an RSVP for her, so. If anyone knows Samantha, you can tell her to come over and pick up her award from the Office of Undergraduate Studies at some point. All right. That one down. All right. And as far as I know, the next winner is actually not here today, but the runner-up for the Fiction Award is Noah Tasler for their work, How Is It That a Puppet May Scream? Noah is, and I'm quoting this from them themselves, a self-described eldritch abomination of antediluvian origin and aspiring Byronic hero, and wants to understand all that they may about the human condition. Maybe that's why they weren't here. Yeah. The winner for the Writing Award category for fiction goes to Jessica Schmidt for her work, The Weakness of Love. Jessica is a senior at Florida Gulf Coast University, majoring in marketing with a minor in advertising. She has focused on her passions of traveling, writing, and marketing. She is the president and editor-in-chief of the FGCU Odyssey Club, the director of marketing and PR for Operation Christmas Care. All in all, Jessica's main goal in life is to leave a positive impact where she goes by simply doing what she loves. Jessica. Looking at teleprompter. Our next category is graduate academic work. The runner-up for the Writing Award for graduate academic work is Shahid Rasool, working with their graduate advisor, Jingsun Zhang, also known as Jason, Dr. Jason, for Bangladeshi, Indian, and Pakistani parents' perceptions of their children's academic achievement in Southwest Florida. And the winner for the Writing Award for graduate academic work goes to Clara Huck for their work, Influences of Latina Sorority Membership on Ethnic Identity and Sense of Belonging. Clara is a doctoral candidate where she also instructs pre-service teachers on ESOL, which is, I think, English as a second language. Or English students learners, yeah. And was it Ed-M? Is it education major? Or minor? Was it Ed-M? Oh, here.
Oh, an EDM.
Oh, EDM. Master's in education? Okay. In urban education administration. She currently serves as the ELL instructional leader for the school district of Lee County and is the founder and president of the Southwest Florida TESOL. Apparently, she's a fan of acronyms. I apologize for my lack of understanding of the different acronyms. I should probably know most of those as my wife is a teacher. So if she was presenting here, she would be able to translate those. All right, next up, we have the Health and Human Services category. The runner-up for the Writing Award for Health and Human Services is Madeleine Goldman for her work Health Promotion, Texting, and Driving. And Madeleine's online, so can we go to her online? I can't see the screen. She goes up. Well, I hope you can hear us, Madeleine. Congratulations on your award. And we can probably come back to you at the end of the awards ceremony if you'd like to make an appearance. I can't see it. She knows we're on YouTube. That's okay. Yeah. Anyways, let's all give a round of applause for Madeleine as well. Madeleine's in the nursing program and will be graduating this year in 2021. She was born and raised in Fort Myers. She plans to stay in this area to work at one of the local hospitals as a registered nurse. She's interested in working in the pediatric unit, whether it be pediatric oncology, pediatric intensive care, or the pediatric emergency room. Her mother and brother are both also FGCU alumni. The winner for the Writing Award category for Health and Human Services is Cheyla for her work Health Promotion, Teen Pregnancy. Cheyla is a senior in the nursing program. She enjoys hiking, kayaking, and swimming, among other outdoor activities. She works with the Outdoor Pursuits as a challenge course facilitator, which ties her hobbies to the outdoors. She's looking forward to this summer, where she'll transition from working for campus recreation to providing healthcare during an unprecedented time. Next up, we have the Humanities Awards. The runner-up for the Writing Award for Humanities is Dominick Prohaska for their work on exploring PTSD through humanistic theory of the force structure of the understanding. I don't think Domenica is able to be here today. But after a significant battle with trauma, Nikki left her career in finance to focus her life on finding ways of helping others find their freedom. The winner in the Humanities category goes to Lexi Velte for their work, Go Away Child, How Language Creates Gender-Powered Dynamics in Jane Ray's Wide Sargasso Sea. Lexi is a language lover studying English and creative writing. She is in the English Bachelor's and Master's program and the Vice President of Sigma Tau Delta English Honors Society chapter here on campus. She hopes her future involves a lot of books and animals. Our next category is the Natural Sciences and Mathematics. The runner-up for the Writing Award for Natural Science and Mathematics goes to Emily Ganeshan for their work on the dangers of preventative methods for the obesity epidemic. Emily is a senior majoring in biology with a minor in chemistry and French. She is also a student athlete. Her physical and mental health are two of her main priorities, as it is not always easy to find a way to balance academic and athletic workloads. For her senior research, she chose to focus on obesity in the United States. After graduating, she will be attending pharmacy school to further her education. And the winner of the Writing Award for Natural Sciences and Mathematics goes to Kevin Ortiz for their work, Differences in Perceptions of Snakes Across Diverse Cultures and the Impact on Snake Populations. I'm not sure. I don't think Kevin was able to be here today, but Kevin was born in Puerto Rico and moved to the United States after beginning high school. After high school, he went on to obtain a bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Central Florida and later joined the United States Navy. Kevin is now on track to earning a bachelor's degree in biology with the intention of getting into a graduate program focusing on behavioral psychology. The next category is poetry, and poetry was actually the most popular category this year. Poetry had a total of 35 submissions, so it's a highly competitive area. The runner-up for the Writing Award for Poetry goes to Ana Paula Martinez for her work on Primavera. I had her in the first. Anna's not here, is she? Maybe she's just hiding. All right, and the winner for the Writing Award in the Poetry category goes to Madison, Franz for their work, We're Not Really Strangers. Madison is a freshman in the Honors College majoring in elementary education. She hopes, wait, we already had Madison, did we have? Madison already got her award, right? This is Madison's second award, right? So we've gone through this, I'm reading the same thing twice. Let's all just give Madison another round of applause. I think Madison was the only one that won 2 awards this year, right? Yeah. That's great. All right. The next category we have social sciences. The runner-up for the Writing Award for social sciences is Ethan Frank, and I think Ethan is also online. Maybe I can like pass it through the screen. That would be a good way of like orchestrating that if like someone just, you know, we had 2 copies of the board and someone scanned it to them on the screen. We're not that creative, or at least not that proactive, one of the 2. Anyways, Ethan is receiving the Writing Award as runner-up for social sciences for their work on collective youth activism. Ethan is a junior majoring in political science and a minor in global studies. He has been heavily involved with political science research, presenting an original research project at the Honors College Student Research Symposium. He's also currently serving as an honors mentor, and after graduating from FGCU, he hopes to attend law school, run for public office, and own a McDonald's franchise. There's probably something involved with those 2 things that are related to each other, but I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's shyness or technical difficulties. Anyways, thank you again, Ethan. The winner for the award for social sciences goes to Catherine Ryan for their work, Challenging Liberty, Everglades National Park's Historic Impact on Native American Sovereignty and Economics. Catherine is a 4-year student majoring in history and accounting. Having grown up visiting national parks across the country, she quickly developed a passion for for their protection and stories. In response, her research is focused on environmental, social, and gender history. Outside of the classroom, she enjoys spending time with family and reading. And we might want to check that award. All right. Our next category is under sustainability. The runner-up for the Writing Award for Sustainability goes to Haley Pearson for their work, Anthropogenic Threats to Seabird Populations. I think Haley was also attending online. I don't know if she's there. Haley is a second-year student pursuing a degree in biology and marine science. Haley has a passion for animals and an interest in conservation. So upon the completion of her undergraduate degree, she intends to apply to a graduate program to further her education in biology and pursue a career in that area. And the winner for the Writing Award category for sustainability goes to Stephanie Brennan for their work on water pollution in Southwest Florida. Stephanie is a forensic studies major and wants to become a CSI for a federal agency. Stephanie enjoys reading, drawing, and exercising, and also is a beater for the FGCU Quidditch team, which, for you guys know, that's a position on the team. Although they do have to beat people, right? I also understand that the field Quidditch is a very, very athletic sport. Yeah. So we had a couple of students that were in the Quidditch team in engineering a few years back. So, yeah. All right. And next up, we're going to go to the awards category for visual and performing arts. And unfortunately, this is our last awards category. But again, I remind you guys to stick around for snacks and refreshments and for the readings after the presentation of the awards. The runner-up for the Writing Awards category for visual and performing arts goes to Key Camila for their work, Adulting. He graduated from the State College of Florida Collegiate School and the State College of Florida with a high school diploma and an AA in 2020. Creativity is an important part of their life and is overjoyed to be able to pursue it through a dual major in art and English. Kay has been honored to receive recognition for writing from the International Thespian Society, the Filmworks Program, Theater Odyssey, and the Blank Theater's YPF and National Young Arts. And the winner for the category of visual and performing arts goes to Grace Anderson for their work, A Queer Happily Ever After, Queer Feminism and Gender Performance in Massenet's Cendrillon. Which I also had to Google, but I think it's the interpretation of the Cinderella fairy tale. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. All right. Thank you for coming, everybody. That includes the awards portion of the category. We do have some people who pre-registered to do readings during the open mic portion of the event. So if Catherine Ryan would like to start, I'd like to welcome her to come over and take the stage. Unless, Jackie, did you have anything to add? Oh, yes, our online people.
We're going to try to get you on the live stream now. We'll get Captain Ryan and
Good plan. Okay. So I think we have Madeleine Goldman.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can, Madeleine.
I just want to say thank you for choosing me for an award for my writing. This was a paper for my community nursing course, and I was assigned the topic of texting and driving. This paper taught me a lot, despite the long hours of writing it, but I think it will serve me well as a nurse and doing research for my patients. So thank you.
Thank you, Madeleine, and thanks for taking the time to stick through our technology. What about Ethan and Haley? Okay. All right, so I think that we're good there. Again, Catherine, if you want to take 5 minutes to get situated, then that's fine too. No rush, and please, guys, please be sure to use the refreshments and the snacks, because I don't know who's going to take them if we don't use them. So, someone, hopefully, yeah. Yes. I was just going to put down the list though.
Katie, please start us off with your mics.
Hi guys. So I was just gonna read like my introduction. So in 1915, the United States completed the Dixie Highway construction, which connected East Florida to the northern United States. Simultaneously, the Tamiami Trail construction began, connecting Florida's west coast to Miami and attracting many tourists and newcomers to the south. Concurrently, Florida real estate experienced its first land boom due to widespread publicity campaigns. Speculation of the wetlands was prolific because marketing teams promoted the Florida subtropical environment as an oasis to northerners searching to escape the brutal winters. Upon arrival, newcomers found the wetlands uninhabitable and unsuitable for farming. A significant problem with the land boom was that land speculators sold tracts of the Everglades where Seminole people had resided since the Second Seminole War. As this paper argues, Miccosukee and Seminole people experienced changes to land use rights that affected their legal sovereignty and economic opportunities in South Florida.
Thank you, Catherine. Next up, would Dominick like to come up to read?
Hello. My name is Dominick Trippie. I won the business category. I submitted a piece that's called 5 Art Pieces That'll Make Your Kalia Bay Walls Talk. It's more of an advertising piece so that they can get their advertisements about their new tower going up. It's based on art pieces as well. So I'm not going to show you the art pieces because they're small, but I'll just say it with my words. So we'll see what happens. 5 art pieces that'll make your Kalia Bay walls talk. Whoever said if these walls could talk never had an art piece to do the talking for them. Blank walls never make any noise, so let us help you decide what story you want your walls to tell. Use these as suggestions as you design your Kalia Bay condo, and do not forget that Tower 300 is now up for contracts. Here are some of our favorite art pieces for your Kalia Bay walls. The first one, Nautical Decor by Mary Rowe. This light rustic piece tells the story of a wooden old fishing boat coming toward its destination. Every time you see this piece, you remember you have arrived at your destination. Blue Heron by Graydon. The only noise these pets will be making is the story of 2 birds that can't take their eyes off each other. Maybe that's you and your spouse, or maybe it's the bird reflecting back on itself. Whatever these blue herons are doing, they sure are doing wonders for your Kalia Bay walls. Ocean View by Pam Johnson. This unique art piece adds a soothing and water-like texture to your living room. Now, every view is a water view. The picture only reminds you that you're just an elevator ride away from the ocean, seashells, and the best sunsets you will ever see. East Hampton by Gray Malin. The clear blue water, the colorful umbrellas, and the picture-perfect sand makes you think of your happy place. This is why we recommend hanging this painting in your happy place. The only worries come from choosing what beach you're going to go to that day. One thing is for sure, when you hang this on your wall, the wall will never shut up about going outside. And the last one is Teal Marble by Zell. This simple piece brings together the home. It invites your guests to bring wine to your next gathering. It brings forth conversations of the good old days and reminds you of how hard you worked to get here. Put this piece on your wall, and that's the last job you'll ever have to do. You are home, so enjoy the time you have, because like this picture, home is in the stories you tell. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. Alexa. Like, what?
Hi, I wrote mine about my experiences as a Latina growing up in Naples, Florida, and a lot of the racism that my friends, and my family faced. When I was in high school, my mom called me to complain about a customer she dealt with. She worked in property management, so I expected her to talk about how they were just annoying her. And my heart dropped when she said, "He noticed my accent and told me, I don't need help from an immigrant. My mom was born in New York." What hurt more than the insult itself was that it was common while growing up in Naples, Florida. I was proud of being Chilean, Dominican, and American. My tan skin, dark hair, and Spanish surname made me feel beautiful. My family and I immigrated from Los Angeles, California to Naples, Florida, and my Latina features became a curse. It became a signifier that I was different and I didn't belong. Naples is an iceberg. On the surface, people see its beautiful beaches, golf courses, and luxurious mansions. Beneath the water is a prejudiced city with an unwelcoming culture for anybody who wasn't rich or white. I noticed small details as a child. The deli workers at Whole Foods served the white customers before my family. My crushes only preferred girls with blonde hair and blue eyes. Most of my classmates didn't know where Chile or the Dominican Republic was. A kid called me Dora the Explorer to get a rise out of me. I shrugged it off. These were isolated incidents, right? They were just coincidences. A preference and a bully mocking my resemblance to a cartoon character. Entering high school during the 2016 election brought a new wave of racial tensions. My high school, it was diverse, but the isolation from my white classmates and staff was unavoidable. "We have an overpopulation problem in this country," my science teacher said to a room full of Black and Latino children. "It's because of all the people immigrating here. Donald Trump may be a little crazy, but he's the only one with the right idea." "This is an English class, so English is the only language allowed," another teacher told two Cuban girls for having the audacity to speak Spanish. I reported a student for painting his face black once and saying he was from the country in the movie Black Panther, and the teachers laughed at his forced African accent. I felt as if racist beliefs became included in the curriculum, and some of my classmates were top students. Racial slurs became a part of my white classmates' vocabularies, and people stayed silent when a white classmate told a group of Latino kids to speak English. And to this day, my voice shakes when I speak Spanish in public. I was so lucky to have my friends. We knew we were Mexican, Dominican, Haitian, Puerto Rican. I was just grateful to have a safe space where I didn't feel judged for my skin. We had the radical belief that we were still human and what we were experiencing wasn't normal. We risked our jobs, reputations, behavior records, and physical safety if we stood up for ourselves. We coped with humor until it wasn't funny anymore. My Puerto Rican friend told me when she volunteered at a hospital, a white woman called her the help. I joked to her, if I was there, she would have stayed at that hospital. I'd mock the dirty looks that racist people gave me for daring to step out in public. Raised eyebrows and wide eyes, looking down upon me. After the 2016 election, I walked by my neighborhood littered with "Build the Wall" and "Make America Great Again" signs. At school, I comforted one of my friends while she worried about her family getting deported. And so when my mom told me what that customer said, I broke down. He spat the word immigrant like a slur. The racism became a cage that I couldn't escape from. My grandparents had left their lives behind and worked to the bone for my parents. When I was a kid, my dad peppered my face with kisses, and he told me stories about how hard it was to live in Chile. Nothing felt warmer than being in an immigrant's arms, arms that lost everything to be wrapped around me. But few Naples residents knew that. After my high school graduation, I didn't know whether to be excited or anxious. My bullies were about to terrorize the real world and become the cops and politicians my friends and I feared. The valedictorian and salutatorian, who were Mexican and Haitian respectively, translated their speeches to Spanish and Creole. And for once, different cultures and languages were celebrated. It couldn't melt the iceberg of a town, but it was a small victory. And I knew they weren't the only two women of color who overcame the barriers of language, racism, and xenophobia. The applause from the families who finally felt included could have filled stadiums. This June, I noticed a team of police guarding Fifth Avenue, which was Naples' biggest tourist area. The street was lined with gourmet restaurants and designer boutiques, and I knew why it was being guarded. There was a protest against police brutality later that day. People might have said that they were worried about looters, but videos of Naples protests proved that many of the protesters were just teens. Why were the police so scared of children of color? They didn't have weapons. They had their voices chanting, "Black Lives Matter." I scoffed at how ironic it was. Police protecting the tourist area from the realities of racism.
Thank you, Alexa. Next up, we have Hannah. Hannah, did you want to speak?
My name is Hannah Clonch, and I wrote about my experience with domestic violence. I want to kill you. Your existence disgusts me. These were the words spoken to me by the man I was madly in love with, the man that I had given my all to, that I dreamed of marrying one day. The words struck me hard, feeling the coldness of the barrel to a Smith & Wesson against the back of my head. I knew which gun he had chosen clearly because this is the exact handgun that I had purchased for him. I had paid for what would ultimately be used to end my life. All my future dreams with him came to a screeching halt. I felt that everything I'd ever wanted was just crashing down around me. I stood there, not stopping him. At that moment, I had given up. I knew that if he took my life, I would not have to deal with the pain and suffering that he had caused me for so long. In the split second that I had come to terms with what was going to happen, the gun fell from his hand and hit the floor. He slammed the door open, causing the handle to go through the wall, and he left. Trying to process what had happened and what could have been, all I could do was sob uncontrollably on the bathroom floor. Where did I go wrong? Why had it come to this? I questioned it, but deep down I knew. I knew that I allowed the abuse. I allowed another person to treat me this way because it's how negatively I felt about myself. He had so much control over me that I did not know how to live without him. I struggled with depression and suicidal ideations for as long as I could remember. It took him screaming that I am crazy over and over for me to reach out for help. While reaching out to a psychiatrist, I was only seeking help for how I felt, not what I was going through. I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder, which was a relief that there was an answer, but to him, he knew I was crazy. I would like to say that after him telling me that he had wanted to kill me, that I had left the relationship and found my self-worth, but that was not the case. I continued to stay in this relationship, battling not only him physically and emotionally, but myself. After continuing to stay for another year, he decided that he was no longer happy with me and decided to end our relationship. I had put on such a facade for everyone in my life that I lost who I was as a person. I did not know how to act or even how to get through the day. He had controlled all aspects of my life, where I could work, if I could attend classes, how I could dress. He would even give me a time limit for my drive home to and from work. I was no longer the same person and I didn't care. I just wanted to be with him. And although I knew I had lost myself, I did not care enough about me to turn it around. The next year was an absolute blur. I was just trying to survive. One day, I decided that I was tired of feeling this way. I no longer wanted to lie awake at night, wondering why I was not good enough or what I did to deserve such hatred from someone that I loved so deeply. I decided to get help again, but this time it would be from a trauma therapist. I went through months and spent tens of thousands of dollars on EMDR and talk therapy. This would be the first time that I opened up about the abuse. For so long, no one knew what I was going through. We would pretend that we were happy in public, but to the naked eye, we were perfect. I hid my bruises with oversized sweaters and didn't tell a soul. how freeing it was to finally say out loud what I had gone through. It was not an easy road by any means. Reliving your memories in EMDR therapy is exhausting and life-altering, but it truly changed who I was. I was able to emotionally detach from the memories, but I'm still aware that they had happened. During this healing process, I was diagnosed with PTSD and a heart condition that was developed through my anxiety attacks that I had endured for years. I would, and still do, have flashbacks from the night that could have ended my life. I used to come home and check every room in my house to ensure that he wasn't there. I felt like I was a victim to the situation because I would suffer from these conditions for the rest of my life at the hands of someone else. But this simply isn't true. I realized that I have these mental illnesses, but I do not have to suffer from them. I had to relearn who I am and where I want to be. It is a daily effort to remind myself about my own dreams and aspirations and how I can get there. I have learned that life will go on, even when it doesn't feel like it will, because the earth does not stop spinning for anyone. It takes you to make a choice every single day to be happy. For some, happiness isn't a chore, but for others, it truly is a conscious decision every day. It's okay to not be okay as long as you don't stay there. Even though I went through domestic abuse, I chose to not let this situation define me. I chose to be a survivor, not a victim. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. Next reading is Jessica Schmidt. Is Jessica still here? She want to? No. The next confirmed one I have is Ana Paula Martinez. No, okay, she's not here. Did Madeleine, did you want to do a reading?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead, Madeleine.
My paper is like 40 pages, so I'll just give you the introduction. Okay, so the health promotion topic of texting and driving was assigned to target the adolescent population, specifically those aged 15 to 18 in Census Tract 102 in DeSoto County. Identification of the target population led to a careful consideration of the characteristics, comprehension levels, and potential barriers to learning in this age group. These considerations were taken into account when planning the presentation in order to provide an effective learning environment and fully optimize education. In this era, instant messaging has become one of the primary forms of communication, and the adolescent age group reports texting as the primary form of communication with friends, sending nearly 100 texts each day. Concomitantly, the leading cause of death in this age group are motor vehicle crashes, likely resulting from distracted driving. Nearly 35.6% of Florida high school students reported ever having texted or emailed while driving. The adolescent age range encompasses recently licensed drivers who are new to the rules and regulations of the road. Adolescents differ from adults in that they lack maturation of the parts of the brain that control decision-making, behavior, and problem-solving, which can lead to poor judgment while operating a motor vehicle. In Census Tract 102, nearly 2,173 workers as young as 16 years old must commute to work, and this does not include those that must commute to school or other locations via a motor vehicle. This makes for a sizable proportion of already at-risk adolescents on the roadways, making it imperative to emphasize distracted driving and the consequences associated with it. Data was gathered and analyzed regarding texting and driving in the adolescent age group. Based on comprehensive evaluation of findings, a health promotion slideshow presentation was generated to specifically target the decided age group and corresponding learning domains. The information and presentation take into account the characteristics and comprehension abilities of adolescents, as well as possible barriers that may hinder the learning process. Audiovisual materials and a handout will be incorporated into the presentation to meet goals and objectives, as well as enhance overall learning for the adolescent listeners. Thank you.
My Thank you so much, Madeleine. So just very quickly, Samantha Stilwell-Carroll, who was actually, which one did she win? I apologize. Engineering. All right, so our engineering winner, Samantha Stilwell-Carroll, she just wanted it to be said that she wanted to thank Professor Alison Dieppe, as her class guided her in writing her paper that led to her winning this award and being the recipient. So thank you to Professor Dieppe from Samantha. And then finally, would anybody like to read a portion, do an open reading for the open mic section? Just like put your hand up. No? All right. Well, then that concludes our open mic session and this part of the writing awards. Do you want to say any concluding?
I just want to thank everyone again for coming. I think we have the bar until 5. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
So please feel free to stick around, have a good time, have some snacks. And if anyone changes their mind and wants to do a reading after they've had a little bit of liquid courage, please feel free to come up and do so.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thanks again. Bye, everybody.